morning, everybody. Say good morning, everyone. Does anybody know that that's from Bluey? Do you know that?
I do.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one just reciting Bluey-isms. Welcome. Willkommen. How do you say welcome in Japanese?
Irashaimase.
Who is this guy? It is the third trimester. Wow, that was a toilet running the whole time. Third trimester. Welcome to our third trimester Q&A. We are a little bit loopy because we've been doing yard work all day. Housework and yard work. We finally got a new carpet cleaner and we had a lot of fun with that. So, exhausted.
Yeah.
But I wrote down all your questions. We're going to get right to it because there's quite a few here. There's mostly pregnancy-related stuff, and then there's a few that are non-pregnancy related, and I'll have those at the end. Just for a little bit of backstory, if you're new here, if you've not been following along our journey, we experienced a full-term stillbirth with our first child, a little girl named Kaia. And then our second pregnancy, our rainbow baby, I had P-prom at 26 weeks and I had to spend 2 months in the hospital, like just living in the hospital. So it's been a wild ride. Now we are on our third child and everything seems to be going good thus far. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Stay good, please. So a lot of these questions are going to be dealing with like things like mental health and, you know, stuff related to high-risk pregnancy in general. One of the most requested questions that we got was, am I going to be induced early? And that is absolutely yes. As soon as we hit 37 weeks, I'm going to be breaking down all the doors in the hospital. Let me in! I don't think I could go a day longer than 37 weeks. Yeah. Just mentally, I don't think I could do that because our stillbirth was 37 weeks. And I just feel like at that point, it is early term, but you're still full term technically. At that point, it's like, it just feels like it'd be better, safer to have her out rather than in. Yeah. Will you be spending time in the hospital for your third trimester? And I don't think so, only if there's like any issues like preeclampsia or another P-prom or, you know, anything that might indicate that I should be in the hospital receiving that type of monitoring. But it looks like I'm hopefully going to be able to stay home until the day that we do go into induce.
The next question is, do we have an induction date?
Not yet. I think probably as we get closer. Because it also depends on like doctors' availability and the availability of like family to come watch our son and yeah. But hopefully, exactly at 37 weeks. Well, I guess that answers this question. Will family be flying in to watch Kieran? And yes, my sister-in-law will be flying in to watch Kieran for the days that we will be in the hospital.
Unmedicated or medicated? I presume this is about your birth.
Definitely medicated.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's going to be an induction anyway. That's a form of medication. I generally wait for the epidural when it actually starts hurting because I don't have pain until until they've broken my waters. Yeah. I don't tend to have like any pain at all. So I think with Kaia, I waited till 8 centimeters dilated. With Kieran, it was like maybe 5 centimeters.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I tend to try to be less medicated the whole time, but you know, once it starts actually really hurting, I have no qualms with being medicated. These questions are about like our anxiety and PTSD. There were actually quite a few people that were asking about you because, you know, you're working most of the time, so you're not on here discussing the things that I discuss. And a lot of people, when they see you, they're like, oh, he's so stoic. Like, he seems like he's just like your rock. Like, does he have PTSD? Does he experience the same like anxiety that you do? How does he cope? Stuff like that.
Gotcha. That was a lot. You want me to
Oh.
unpack everything?
Do you have PTSD from losing our daughter?
Yeah, I would say I do. Yeah. I think it's, I think the way men handle it is different than how women handle it. I feel
like you go inward more and I express
Yeah.
outward.
Yeah. And I just kind of doubled down on my work and kind of focused more on my work, to get through. You know? If I hyperfixate on my work, then I don't really necessarily, not that I don't want to think about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in like the times that, got a cat hair or something, the times that, like we just had a little episode of that, was it yesterday? We were driving and then we pulled to a stop sign, and as soon as we like stopped the car, the baby kicked me like in the bladder, and it reminded me, and I said it to him, I was like, oh, that just gave me anxiety, because the way she kicked me when the car stopped reminded me of when our daughter had passed away.
Yeah.
And she like sloshed inside of me, and that's how I knew something was wrong, like immediately. And he and I both relived that day that we found out that our daughter had passed away. Like we both just simultaneously relived it, and then we were like, oh yeah, wow, that day sucked. I just relived it.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, me too. So I mean, it's there, but it's not like super dramatic or anything, but it's definitely like we relive that day.
Yeah, there's definitely certain things that
trigger it.
Like there's even to the point where there's like certain streets.
Yeah.
That if I was to drive, because I go into LA and then
Yeah. Or just even seeing like a little girl or something that might look like how she looks at age 2 or 3, it can trigger that.
Yeah.
Like with anxiety though, like I don't feel like you're quite as anxious as me when it comes to the whole pregnancy.
I guess I'm more anxious when it comes to the finances of the kids. So, you know, I kind of, I don't know, I have this faith that we're going to, she's coming.
Yeah,
we're
she's
gonna
coming
see her.
home.
Yeah.
And the next question is, how has my PTSD and anxiety been as I have acid reflux? It's actually not been too bad. Like I said, there's like moments where I'm anxious. It's primarily in the mornings that I kind of wait to feel her move. And once I feel her move, I'm good to go for the day. But sometimes I'm in that space between asleep and waking where I feel her move, and then I gaslight myself into thinking, no, that wasn't her. That wasn't her. Wait for a bigger movement. And I can start to get a little anxious upon waking, but pretty much for the rest of the day, she's moving very consistently and, kicking me in the crotch and stuff. So it's very apparent that she's doing good in there. So, yeah. Sorry if that's TMI. Here's a fun one from Michelle. Anything in the 3rd trimester you didn't get to do with Kieran that you hope to do in this one? Not live in the hospital.
Yeah.
Just come and go anywhere we want.
Yeah.
Definitely eating, well, I was going to say eating normal food, but like not hospital food, but I kind of stuck with a very regimented diet that sucks. But yeah, probably just that. Like it feels like a privilege to be out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can answer a couple here while Kameron goes and takes a whiz. This one's about ADHD. I have talked about how ADHD feels like it's not quite as severe while I'm pregnant. How is it being unmedicated right now while you're pregnant, because you seem good. I feel like it took a while to get here. I was really expecting by the 12-week mark to feel great, but it just took so much longer to feel like energetic and to finally feel that nesting thing. And I don't know if it's necessarily that my ADHD symptoms get better, or if it's just like that drive for nesting that makes me feel like my symptoms are better. Because when I'm in nesting mode, I just feel like I need to clean and do all this stuff and organize and everything. And that's tends to be how I feel when I'm medicated. It's a lot harder with executive dysfunction and everything when I'm not medicated. But for some reason, when the nesting is going on, I feel almost not really, but almost like I'm medicated, at least when it comes to executive functions. This question is, how do you feel about being in the 3rd trimester? I feel ready. I feel ready to be done and to meet our baby girl and to not be pregnant again for a while. And not gonna lie, really miss a nice glass of wine and sushi and pokey. That sounds so good. Yeah, wash those hands.
Toilet hands.
Ew, bingo. You have toilet hands. You didn't miss much. It was mostly ADHD and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Here's a fun. How do you feel about juggling life with a toddler and a newborn? Bring it.
I was like, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna have to do it.
Yep. This one is, how did you decide when it was the right time for another baby? I'm old. Here come the grannies!
You're not.
This whole thing is bingo or Bluey references. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true, partially, that I am of advanced maternal age. I prefer that over geriatric. But I'm going to be 37 next weekend. I honestly didn't feel like we had much time to wait. And we'll probably, after this one, wait a couple of years.
Yeah.
I want to say. I always want to say if things go well, and I just need to believe that they will go well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a boy and a girl Earthside. So in a couple of years, when I'm 39, I don't really care whether it's a boy or a girl. But I mean, other than that, other than, you know, me being geriatric, was there anything that you felt about I mean, I feel like it'd be nice to have them so close in age too. They can be buddies.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, I have 4 older brothers, and the youngest one to me was 4 years older than me, and I just felt like I was kind of alone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up. Me and my brother were only 18 months apart, so.
And you guys were like besties.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I want that for our kids. Do you hope baby girl looks like Kaia, doesn't look like Kaia, or are you indifferent?
I mean, she's gonna have red hair, and
I feel like it's gonna be like light brown.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I feel like from what we've seen, it looks like she'll be a mixture of her siblings.
Yeah.
I'm kind of indifferent, I guess. Like,
Same.
ooh, this is when we got a lot. Does Kieran understand?
No. No.
I try to tell him, there's a baby in there, and he just, like, kicks my belly anyway. Baby, don't kick your sister.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get it until maybe later. He seems like he's just trying to have fun and explore the outside.
He's trying to learn right now about the world around him. I think he'll get it when she comes home and she doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, she's here. That brings us to the next question is, how does Kieran do around small children and babies?
keeps his distance.
I feel like he's like not necessarily shy.
Yeah.
He's kind of an introverted little guy. Like, you can tell that he's thinking, but it's very introspective.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell he's working on a lot of stuff in his brain. Like, when we go to the park, he'll laugh. If he's on the swings and there's another kid, he'll like kind of look at them and like laugh and stuff. But he's not really like the really super outgoing type to run up to another kid and like, you know, start trying to play or anything. Yeah. He's definitely more like us, or he's more introverted and kind of keeps to himself. But, you know, I don't think he's shy necessarily.
Yeah.
So how do you think Kieran will react to the baby?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think bad, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think he might be like, whoa, what's that? Mm-hmm. Whoa, there's another, like, little human here.
I'm trying to put his finger in her nose, probably.
Try to steal her binky.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like he's gonna do what he does to the cats, though. You know how he, like, goes up to them and just lays his head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be gentle. But then again, he does crawl over Riri.
And she screams.
This is by far the most requested question. The whole... I couldn't count how many. All caps, what's her name? You gonna tell us the name? Name reveal, tell us. We haven't decided.
Yeah.
I mean, he really wants to do one. And I'm kind of on the fence about, you know, because we have her name sign sitting right there, and we just picked out paint for the walls. And when we do, like, the little nursery part of the room reveal, it might also be nice to have the sign there. But I'm a little, you know, on the fence. So I guess we'll see by the end of the month, because I think that's when we're going to try to do the nursery reveal. I think we're going to be painting on my birthday weekend. So I'm hoping to have everything finished by then.
Nice.
So we got to make a decision by then.
We will.
A unanimous decision.
Yes.
All right, that wraps up all of the pregnancy-related questions. We do have a very small handful of non-pregnancy related questions. Some of them are pretty funny. This one we get quite a lot. Did you get rid of the cats? How are the cats? Like, you never show the cats. Where are the cats? Did you get rid of some? How is the kitten that you guys found? How's the kitten that Kameron found in the work parking lot, etc., etc.? I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I haven't been showing the cats much because I frankly got like tired of hearing hate comments about the cats and the plethora of comments that your cats killed your baby, and you know, if I show my cats, guaranteed there's always comments about toxoplasmosis, even though we tested for that and it was negative.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, at some point you get tired of screening that stuff and seeing it, and then, you know, deleting it and blocking people. So they're all here. They're all doing great. We still have all of them. So this one is a interesting question. How are you able to afford staying home, paying such a high rent, and purchasing a building in LA? Well, first and foremost, I do stay home, but I work from home. I do YouTube, so I do have an income. And Etsy. So I do have like various streams of income. So it's not that I'm staying home and not contributing financially. I do contribute financially.
Also, that being said, many of you may not know, I am a loan officer. So my whole job that I do day to day is help everyone that I meet get qualified to buy a home. Mm-hmm. So I know all the guidelines. You know, we do, you know, from residential loans to commercial loans. We do it all. This purchase has been 3 years, almost 4 years in the making.
And the dream of it even longer. Like,
yeah.
Probably the past 5 years.
So I mean, we can do loans in all 50 states. If anybody needs help, I can definitely help you. Because a lot of people, especially out here in California, think that it's it's the American dream is not going to happen. But it can. We just gotta look in the finances, and then maybe it doesn't happen this year, but maybe we can get it to happen next year, and we set you up on that track to put you in that direction.
Yeah, I've seen him like take people with really terrible credit scores, and he has guided them into getting excellent credit scores, like within 6 months to a year. And people who previously have been told, absolutely not, you won't be able to do this, he's helped them get into a home. So I feel like it's that knowledge that you have.
Well, I'd hope so. I've been going on 5 years of doing it, so I definitely have learned a thing or two.
I know from listening to you on the phone with people, I'm starting to learn how the loan process works and everything.
Some of them start off and they think, oh, there's no way I can afford it. And then come to find out, actually you can. Now it's just up to you.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, what kind of family car do you want?
A Subaru Ascent.
Touring.
Yeah, that's touring trim.
With the brown leather interior.
Oh, yes.
Wood accents.
Because, one, all their cars are all-wheel drive, so they've been doing that forever. So that technology is awesome. They kind of market to the outdoors, camping, you know what I mean? So eventually, I know we haven't really been able to do that lately, but we would like to go back into the wilderness, and it would be cool. Yeah, it would be cool to have a car that's not necessarily off-road, but definitely can handle it if need be. So, and then we just need room. Yeah. So, yeah.
Planning all these geriatric babies.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't know much about cars. I have been a skateboarder most of my adult life. Skateboarding, taking buses, things like that. I never learned how to drive. Never really had, like, that desire, you know. I kind of take after my mom. She didn't learn how to drive till she was 27. Now I'm going to be 37, so I beat her.
A big leap. I'm up for any, because I'm not super into cars as well, but if anybody else has a idea or what, suggestion of what they think might be better.
All-wheel drive, though. It's got to be all-wheel drive.
Yeah. But
because I don't want to get stuck in the mud or the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So last question. I actually only got this once on the Q&A request, but I get it almost every single video that I put out. Some of them are very hateful. Some of them are, I'm sure, just curious or well-meaning. Do you plan to be getting your driver's license?
I already have it.
My favorite was a few vlogs ago when someone said, when will you stop burdening your husband and get a driver's license? I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I have burdened you, so.
How dare you? Go get your license.
I mean, I feel like driving, especially unmedicated, I feel like that gives me a lot of anxiety. Just the thought of operating a machine that could kill people. It gives me a lot of anxiety, and going into LA, because that's also like, why aren't you getting a license and driving to your doctor's appointments as if you don't want to go be there? I couldn't imagine learning to drive, like be fresh learning to drive and then drive into that hellhole.
I wouldn't even recommend it.
I feel like even if I got a license anytime soon, I would still want you to drive for the most part, because you have
experience.
You have almost 20 years on me.
Thank you, Phil.
Wait, how old are you? 32?
32.
When do people learn how to drive?
Well, I think I learned at 17.
Oh. I can't math right now. But that's a hell of a lot more experience than me. Maybe when we have a Subaru Ascent,
There you go.
I'll learn how to drive that beast.
Then you can drive any car.
Yeah, exactly.
You drive the big one, you get a little one, you'd be like, oh, this is nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. That I get asked that question every single video I make, and it's I'm not sure why it's such a popular question. If I decide that I really, really want a license and to drive, and then I'll probably do it with Adderall. It's gonna be necessary. I guess that concludes our Q&A for the third trimester. Feels like we just got a positive pregnancy test.
That it does.
If I, block out the whole being sick for however long I was sick, it feels like we just got the positive pregnancy test. But yeah. We're gonna go to bed because we're getting weird.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night. Bye.